Good afternoon, everybody. It is now officially Monday lunchtime. It is Jim White and it's Simon Jordan, and we are live on talkSPORT. We're also streaming live, of course, on YouTube and your smart TV. If you're a fight fan, a boxing fan, if you're a fan of this show in general, then you are in for a very, very big treat, because we now know that at Wembley Stadium here in London on July the 19th, it's all set. They go again. Oleksandr Usyk, who of course overcame Tyson Fury not once but twice, who has overcome the best in the business. Of course he has. Joshua and of course Daniel Dubois. Well, now he and Dubois go again on July the 19th at Wembley Stadium. Oleksandr Usyk is in studio with his manager Igis Klimas. We're about to be joined by Daniel Dubois. But after what we saw before, we cannot wait for Wembley in July.
The fight of the century.
And we're going to find out who the best heavyweight in the world is.
Usyk, I want my revenge. I want my revenge, Usyk.
Usyk just keeping a distance here. He's starting to pick the shots. Knee right goes out from Usyk, and down goes Dubois. And the referee is counting again. And he stayed down there, Daniel Dubois. He gets up on 9.5. And the fight is over.
It's a natural rematch, and I think that's the direction I would prefer to go, because I think it's a bigger fight.
Usyk is brilliant. He's absolutely world class. He's an ambassador. He's an athlete of the highest order.
Who are you going to fight next? You.
I think it's Dubois.
This is the one you've been waiting for.
Let's get ready to rumble! Usyk Dubois, they go again on the 19th of July at Wembley. Oleksandr Usyk, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is in the studio with Simon and myself, alongside his manager, Igis Klimas. And Oleksandr has already very kindly written me, if I can hold it up, a very nice message in his native tongue. Oleksandr, hi to you.
Hi.
What does this message tell me?
It's message all people. World loves the strong.
The world loves the strong.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And you are the strong. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
I hear you were sleeping in another room.
Yeah, little bit. When I have time, all time I will be asleep.
You had a face-off with Daniel Dubois at Wembley. We showed it earlier on YouTube. You stood with Daniel on the pitch at Wembley, and he pushes you.
Yeah.
There it is. What happened here?
For me it doesn't matter. For me it doesn't matter. Listen, this is show now. Fight we 18 July.
19th of July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it just show. For me doesn't matter. Listen, I prepare 22 years for this business and the boxing. Boxing is not my life. My life is Jesus. But boxing give me opportunity, give me team, give me like I'm famous, have money, you know. I love life. Boxing is just part of my life.
It's just part of your life.
Yeah.
Boxing has made him famous, Simon. He has a lot of money, but by God, he deserves it. He's the best, right?
He's a remarkable fighter. And I remember the interview that he did with the Mail, the English newspaper, the Mail, and talked about Anthony Joshua opening the opportunity and thanking him. And I thought that's how the heavyweight champion of the world should conduct themselves. Elegant, sophisticated, with style. And I have tipped in every fight him to lose. So it doesn't mean I don't respect you. I picked Fury to beat you and I was wrong. I think I picked Joshua to beat you in the first fight when you first really arrived in the heavyweights after fighting Witherspoon and Chisora. And I've been wrong every single time. And I have a feeling that I think that Dubois is going to beat you. But again, my apologies.
You're not alone. You're not alone, brother.
But it will be a great fight.
Of course.
It will be a great fight.
Igis, you are Oleksandr's manager. You love this guy. I mean, he must be like a brother to you.
he's like my son, not a brother. Age, we have a different in the age.
Yeah.
So we cannot be brothers. But we can, of course. But he's like my son. I care for him like my son.
Can you ever have imagined what he has achieved?
You know, thought about that. Then the first time I met Oleksandr, I saw something. He is a special. So that's why we took the whole career. We took kind of like not in a rush in the beginning and slowly, but then we pushed on the pedal and we achieved what he achieved, where he is right now, where he is today.
We have an interpreter in here who's just behind the camera, Valeria. She may get involved, but we'll see how we do with English here, Oleksandr. Of all the heavyweight British fighters you have fought, Fury, Joshua, Dubois, where does Daniel Dubois
Chisora.
Chisora, where does Daniel Dubois rank amongst those fighters
right now? First time I wanna grateful for UK and all my UK opponents. First, it's Joe Joyce. You know, remember it's British Lions, Ukrainian Ottoman, 6th round, like it's half professional series. Yeah. First, it's Joe Joyce. Thank you, my friend. Second, Derek Chisora. For me, it was great test because it's only my start heavyweight division. Yeah, I win. Derek, bro, thank you so much. Then it's AJ, 2 fight. You know, AJ, bro, thank you so much because after this fight, my career go up. Thank you, bro. 2 time. Then it was Daniel Dubois. Then it was Tyson Fury 2 time. Hey, my greedy belly, bro. Thank you so much too. You're great. Now we organization rematch, second fight with Daniel Dubois. It's just great. I think it's great.
But of all those fights, Oleksandr, of all of those fights, which was the toughest? Who is the toughest?
Кто самый жесткий?
Кто самый жесткий, да.
I think it was Derek. And first fight Tyson Fury.
We also forgot. I'm sorry. We also forgot about the Tony Bellew.
Oh my God!
That was the last. That was the last cruiserweight fight. Tony Bellew.
Tony, brother. I'm sorry. Yes.
Oleksandr, I do a show on talkSPORT for BetMGM with Tony Bellew. He'll have told Simon, and Tony Bellew says you fought him, but he could not keep you back. You're coming from this angle, from this angle, from this angle. He could not withstand you. This is what you do, isn't it? You never stop.
Because my coach talked to me, hey Alex, don't stop because your legs, it's your win. Please, you must every time like take focus with ring.
Yeah.
Because like you отпускаешь.
You let it go.
You later don't focus like a get out home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Enough. Go home.
Many people thought after the second Fury fight, maybe you retire. Usyk will retire. Are you thinking at all of retiring? Did you come close to retiring?
В конце.
Все думали, что после второго боя ты уйдешь.
Valeria, come in if you want. You can.
I don't understand. Listen, my team, you know, after second fight, Tyson Fury, I make like a meeting. My team, Usyk team, yeah. I say, hey, listen, I feel I can continue training, I can continue boxing because my doctor, my physiology trainer, my coach boxing, all my team look at like my body, hey Alex, your body it's great, your body wanna more, only you and you myself and like this. I say I wanna listen. I will continue boxing.
Yeah. We may need Valeria for this one because this is an important question. Before Daniel Dubois joins us here in studio, we know, Igis, what has been going on with Ukraine and Russia. The pressure on Oleksandr when he fights, he's not just fighting for him. You understand me, Valeria? Oleksandr, when you fight, you're not fighting for Oleksandr Usyk, are you? You're fighting for Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
Every time. What is that feeling like when you go in against the next fight? All the time, are you doing it for Ukraine?
Що для мене це значить представляти? Я зрозумів. Да. I'm very happy to be ambassador Ukraine, not only sport, like a man. It's my country. I know a lot of people who live in Ukraine. It's very kind of people. В Україні у нас кажуть хлібосольні. It's like welcoming Ukrainian people. Very funny, like a music, national food, like a tradition. Now we have problem because Russia take my city, my country, Ukrainian people. Hey, listen, we're friendly, but when you state your
when you
place,
occupy,
yes, not my. Now we боремся, fighting. Now we're fighting with life, with country. All people, children, junior, senior, woman, great mother, great father, all people.
Yeah.
I thank my Lord Jesus what I born in Ukraine. For me, it's very opportunity.
And a final point, and I know it's a tough subject, but Valeria, I want to ask him. There is a suggestion, Oleksandr, that this can get closer to an end if Ukraine gives up land to the Russians. Can you imagine that happening? Can he imagine that happening to bring about the end? Valeria's in studio and she's translating for Oleksandr.
Okay. Скажу на українській, я не політик і не хочу ним бути, але в світі дуже багато таких спорних ситуацій. Тоді давайте хай всі, у кого є спірні ситуації, забирають якісь землі, і тоді в світі буде хаос. Якщо в нас є правила, які встановлені міжнародними конвенціями, їх не можна порушувати, не можна просто взяти і прийти і забрати чужий шматок землі.
Come in, Valeria.
So Oleksandr is not a politician, but he understands that there is certain reglement, and you can't just if you have certain things that you suppose can happen or things that you want, you can't just enter and take someone's land or make the rules on someone's land or in someone's country.
Understood. Oleksandr, it is great. Valeria, thank you. Igis, you're going to stay around as well. Igis Klimas is Oleksandr's manager. Oleksandr's going to stay here with us, Simon, because joining us next, after this break, is the man that Oleksandr's going to fight at Wembley on July the 19th, and he's Daniel Dubois. Good afternoon, everybody. It's 12:20 this Monday lunchtime. It's Jim White and it's Simon Jordan, and we are live on talkSPORT. And it's, my goodness, we're glad we're doing this. We're streaming live on YouTube and your smart TV. And if ever there is a day that we're glad we're doing that, it's a day like this, because in studio we have two great fighters. The man it seems nobody can beat, Oleksandr Usyk, is with us in studio, and the man who tried and failed but was going to try again on at Wembley Stadium on July the 19th, Daniel Dubois, is in studio as well. The two boys have come hot foot to London Bridge to the studio here from Wembley Stadium, and the two were on the pitch and they faced off. And it got slightly heated. Oleksandr is saying this was nothing. There is Daniel wearing a very nice powder blue suit. Oleksandr in his Team Ukrainian tracksuit. A bit of shoving, but it came to nothing. Daniel, good afternoon.
Yeah.
What was that about? You're just letting Oleksandr know that you're there.
It is a bit of that, but at the end of the day, it's a fight, so... And anytime we're in each other's faces, it could kick off. But I'm happy that I've got this opportunity and I'm ready to fight.
Let's hope it doesn't kick off this lunchtime. We're in this small studio with two of our friends, two good security lads, and a member from Oleksandr's team. You must respect Oleksandr, I'm sure, for what he's achieved so far.
Definitely, you as a fighter, you see them and you see what they've done, and then. When you get the opportunity, I want to win. I want to beat him as well. He's been up there a while, and he's had his day. So now is my time. I'm really confident and ready to fight.
Do you still try to tell us that 2 years ago in Poland you beat Oleksandr Usyk?
It was about that. It was, in my opinion, that was a proper body shot. I mean, I could go over it and over it, but it was a body shot that landed, and now I have a chance to clear up the controversy, just right to say it clean. I've come back, you guys have seen I've come back a new man, a different man, a new fighter, and I'm just excited to show that I'm on the rise.
Oleksandr, do you still insist it was a low blow? You had 4 minutes to recover.
Listen, first fight, it was in the past. Now, I live in now, present. I show you one picture. If maybe it's not clean punch. Just a moment, please.
Oleksandr is looking for a picture in his phone. Simon Jordan is looking over Oleksandr Usyk's shoulder, looking for that same picture.
How do you think?
Well, you're going to tell us that this was not a low blow.
That wasn't the same punch.
All right, that's a punch, isn't it?
Yeah, that wasn't the same punch.
It's one punch. Один is. One is. One off. This.
Short to Simon. Is it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
But as you say, Oleksandr, you live in the present, not the past. Do you think this version of Daniel Dubois presents a much bigger challenge than the version that you fought 2.5 years ago?
Valeria is just translating.
Listen, Daniel, it's a hard fighter.
Yeah.
Daniel win Horgovic, Miller, and Joshua. It's a great. Now, maybe Daniel better, but me better.
Mm-hmm.
Are you too good for him? Are you the better fighter, Oleksandr? Do you still feel you will be too good at Wembley on July the 19th for Dubois?
Yeah.
Why are you so confident?
Listen, I believe. But I win. I feel I can win.
Where's the change come in you, Daniel? I remember watching you fight Joe Joyce and all the furore that came after that, and all the headlines about you coming through.
Yeah.
You were going to take over the division. You had a couple of periods of years where you were rebuilding. Where's the switch changed from losing to him in whichever way you lost to where you are now?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess you could say I've.
Do you believe more in yourself?
Been through ups and downs,
Yeah.
and that's the big difference. I just really
Don
know how
Charles,
to turn
a
it
big
on.
difference to you?
Yeah, he has. He's definitely has. My dad, Don, and the other people that's revolved around the camp that have brought new life to the camp have definitely helped and sharpened me up. So you're gonna see a new me.
What did you take from the first fight against Oleksandr? What did you take away? I mean, you took away a loss, and,
Yeah.
and I think that Oleksandr, I don't think it was a low blow, but I did think he beat you in the end.
Yeah.
But and beat you convincingly, Daniel. But what did you take away from that fight?
It wasn't just a fight. It was a lot more than just
Yeah.
a fight. It was a lot more. But I've rebuilt from it. I was in a dark place and I came out of it, and that's the main thing. I come out of it, and I can't wait for this one. It's going to be a bloodbath, and I'm really looking.
How'd you feel? This time you're going to go to Wembley,
Yeah,
and you're going to fight in 90,000 fans. Last time you went there, everyone was ready to put the crown on top of Anthony Joshua, and
Yeah.
you upset that.
yeah.
You're going in front of 90,000 fans now that will be potentially cheering you on. How do you feel about going to that environment with all the support potentially on your side?
It doesn't matter if they're cheering him on or
Doesn't
it's on
worry
my
you?
side. Don't matter. I love the sport and fighting to win.
Have you ever fought in an atmosphere, Oleksandr? You fought at Tottenham Hotspur with Anthony Joshua, 60,000 people. You will have seen on the weekend possibly Ben versus Eubank, 60,000 people. This is 90,000 British fans that are going to be potentially supporting him. Does that environment concern you?
For me, it doesn't matter. Listen, I go to all place when leave my opponent.
Yeah.
For me, it's a great because I do have a lot of followers like here in the stadium. Listen, 100,000 people go to watch and fight me and Daniel. If this stadium support Daniel, no problem because it's London.
Yeah.
Just for me, it's a great.
Yeah.
Listen, my focus it's a ring. It's not my followers, not people. Blah 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 blah. And my team and me. Because when I listen voice to it, first round, my focus like a okay, go.
Yeah. Oleksandr, do you think a lot of people have said Daniel in your first fight doesn't have the heart? Do you think he has the heart to run you close, to get close with you in this next fight?
Багато людей що роблять?
Yeah. Does Daniel have the heart? Is he brave enough to beat Oleksandr?
Listen, it's a good fighter. It's a boxer. Listen, I respect all who boxing in gym because I know it's very hard. I respect all my my opponent, Daniel too,
Including him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're in for a treat, Daniel, don't you?
I think so too.
I think the way that you're looking at this and you are focused, I can see it in you. You are focused. You know what you will have to do. But Daniel, you'll have to do something extraordinary
No one else has done.
that no one else has done
Yeah.
to beat Oleksandr. No one else can do it. Why can you do it? What can you promise us?
That I'm gonna,
Steady. You know what I'm saying?
you know what I mean. I can say a million words about it, but I feel it. I'm ready. Everything that's happened to me over this from the last time we fought is a lot of pain, a lot of built up anger and everything. So I want to just dish it out and, make sure that I come away with all the belts and do it in London. That'll be special, to be the first unified champion in London, England. So that's what I'm about, creating history.
Oleksandr, we're going to go to a break in a second. We know what you have brought every time you fight. You are extraordinary. Extraordinary. What will you bring on the night of July the 19th? What Oleksandr Usyk will we see?
Як я виграю 19 числа? I bring light, I bring happy, I bring win.
You bring fight, you bring happy,
fight, yeah.
And you
Free
bring the win.
time, undisputed from Ukraine, Oleksandr the Cat. Usyk.
Love it. What you guys don't know, and Valeria, you can tell Oleksandr, is that Igor Klimas, Oleksandr's manager, and Frank Warren are in a room nearby, and I think there's been quite a heated exchange. Don Charles is there as well, Daniel. We'll maybe get one, two, or all of them in next. How we'll do it, I'll never know. Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois are live in this very studio this lunchtime on talkSPORT. It is Monday lunchtime, not any normal Monday lunchtime, because it's all going down here in the studios of talkSPORT here in the news building at London Bridge. For fully half an hour or more, we've been in the company of the fighters Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois. Simon and myself have been chatting away to the boys, and they go head to head for a second time, of course, at Wembley Stadium this time on July the 19th. Dubois feels that he can beat Oleksandr Usyk and do something that nobody else has managed to do. I'm delighted to say that Daniel Dubois' promoter Frank Warren has joined us here in studio. Frank, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Looking immaculate as always. We're live on YouTube and your smart TV. You can have a look as Frank joins us. How tough was this to make, this one, for a second time?
It wasn't. It's very easy. Daniel's come off of 3 sensational wins. There's obviously controversy from the first fight, and we got on very well as in business with Aegis and Alex Krasik, and it weren't a problem to make it at all. So we're doing the fight between us, and we're doing it at Wembley.
That is the reputation that the Ukrainians have. That Usyk is such a humble man, Frank, and his people, Klimas and Krasik, are pretty damn normal to deal with.
Yeah.
Although with the success of Usyk, I would have thought they'd quite rightly get more and more demanding in terms of what they want.
No, everybody knows what the value is of the fight. I mean, it's 4 belts, it's history. First time ever there's been a unification heavyweight fight in the UK. Excuse me. And first time 4 belts have been on the line. So this is a massive, massive sporting occasion in Britain. And everybody's into it. It's going to sell out Wembley. It's going to be it's the best fight in the best. It's the best 2 active heavyweights in the world. It doesn't get any better than that. And you've seen them the first time, the controversy about the low blow. I've got my picture as well here, which shows it was on the belt. Look, watch it, on the belt.
Picture.
On
Let
the
me
belt.
see it.
I was given this. That's on the belt. Have a look.
This is a genuine picture, Mr. Warren.
Of course it's a genuine. That one wasn't what he showed you on his phone.
That was a moment.
Punch.
And of course, it was deemed a low blow.
Yeah, it's a liberty.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Simon Usyk on the floor for 4 minutes.
Yep. Just under 4 minutes. Yeah.
He turned it around. How different is Daniel in terms of a fighter this time around?
I think that's the making of in that fight. The fight obviously was in Poland. We couldn't be in the Ukraine. It was in Poland because there's a lot of Ukrainians there because of the war. That's where it was. And he was going in the other guy's backyard. And that punch and what happened afterwards, I think, really affected him. And it shouldn't have done. And afterwards, we sat down and talked about it. And he said about the referee complained. I said, look, that's your referee and they're your judges. And that's what you should have done. You should have jumped on his arse after the fight, been on top of him and done the business. You're capable of doing it, as he's shown in his last 3 fights against world-class fighters, again going in as an underdog in each of those fights. And he's only 27 years of age. He's grown up. More importantly, he's grown up mentally. And I wouldn't be making this fight like I didn't make the first fight if I didn't feel he could win. And he weren't far off of winning that fight. With having shared the ring with Oleksandr, who's a great fighter, he knows what he has to do. And he's got to go and prove a point. And he's proved a point, in my opinion, in his last 3 fights, because he's been called all sorts of things with the round tables and the press conferences before, and he's shown what he's all about in the ring. And he will do the same thing on the 19th, which is going to be a spectacular fight.
This man doubted the credentials of Eubank Jr. Ben at the weekend to go in and get such hype around it. But I was there at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Frank. I mean, 68,000 or whatever it was. The atmosphere was insane. Is this going to top that?
Of course it is. This is the best. This is the best fight and the best. You know, they've done tremendously well. They fought their hearts out. The pair of them fought their hearts out. And you can't do no more than that as a fighter. You cannot do no more than that. But they're not the best of their weight divisions, respective weight divisions. These two are. These are two superb heavyweights. There's 4 belts on the line.
Yeah, yeah. Such is the scale of the occasion.
And you've got the guy who's coming in and beating all the Brits.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's a Brit basher. That's all he's done. He comes here, he beats all the guys. Well, now we've got a man here that I hope and I believe will reverse that.
You've got another one coming in at your back. Arsenal invincible Martin Keown.
Yeah, there's another one.
Is alongside.
You don't look bad yourself, sweat.
Of course, Frank Warren, a big Arsenal fan. Simon, just before we hit the break, and we'll talk more with Martin and Frank to finish the show today. That's the first time we've had a lengthier conversation with Oleksandr Usyk. Nothing gets to him, does it?
No, he's a class act. There's no doubt about it. He's a class act. But Daniel Dubois deserves lots of plaudits. He went into Wembley Stadium with 90-odd thousand fans waiting to anoint Anthony Joshua. And demolished him. So I think this will be a remark. I think they're both fantastic specimens. Usyk is a class act, a mature individual because he's older and wiser, comes from a completely different background. But Daniel Dubois is growing into himself. This will be one hell of a fight. This will be a proper fight, like all of the Usyk fights have been. And I've got a sneaking suspicion, despite the fact that people will ridicule my judgment, that Daniel Dubois this time will come out victorious.
I'm not so sure. Usyk really impressed me. You know, that aura of a champion.
Yeah,
where he strutted around, walked in.
Class act.
His intelligence, like the messaging. He's got a very clear vision, and I think a lot of this is upstairs. You know, of course, they're big, powerful men, aren't they? Yeah. But he was really impressive, and his team around him, they're smart cookies.
Frank, I think you'll be leaving us the other side of this break, Frank. What would you like to? What might happen when Arsenal meet PSG? Will it be the same?
Win.
Will it be the same outcome?
We're going to win. What do you mean? What may happen? We're going to win like we've done Real Madrid.
Oh, here he goes. When Dubois meets Usyk, you're going to go Dubois. Of course you are. He's your man. Arsenal are your men.
They're my men.
You're sitting beside an Arsenal invincible.
A legend.
Are they going to topple PSG out of this and get to the final?
I think they are. I think it's going to be our time.
You there tomorrow, Frank?
Yeah, of course I am.
We're not even talking about it on the show. Of course, we can't get to that.
If you had to choose one, Frank, Arsenal to win the Champions League or Dubois to beat Usyk, what would you choose?
You're out of order.
Oh, what are you doing?
He wants both, doesn't
he? Look at me, Mr. Warren, and give us an honest answer.
From my heart, I'd like to see. I think it'd be a combination. I think Usyk should support PSG. I can support Arsenal and it'll be a double. I don't want a single bet. I want a double bet. We're going to have a double.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Frank's going to be joining Simon on Top Boxing and Spencer alongside Alex Krasiuk, who, of course, is the promoter of Oleksandr Usyk. And we'll get into the nuts and bolts of Arsenal against PSG with Arsenal invincible Martin Keown to finish off the show today. Frankie, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It is Monday lunchtime. It's Jim White and Simon Jordan. We're live on talkSPORT, courtesy of Selco. It's where the trade goes. This smaller than usual studio, it's been a bit of a revolving door to get people in and out. Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois, alongside Frank Warren and Igis Klimas, Usyk's manager, have just left, and you're going to be resuming the boxing chat this afternoon, Simon, when you put together Talk Boxing with Spencer,
yes,
and Alex Gracia,
and Adam Smith as well,
yeah,
and Don Charles, I believe.
What's your takeaway from that with Usyk and Dubois shoulder to shoulder?
I think Oleksandr Usyk is such an admirable man, and such an embodiment of what you want a world champion to look like and sound like. I mean, I want Daniel Dubois to win because I'm British and I want Daniel Dubois to be successful. But you come out of a conversation with Oleksandr Usyk with a deep-seated admiration for him, because I think he is absolutely world-class in everything he does.
He's a fantastic role model as well, the way he carries himself, shaking hands with everybody in the background, but still that air of a champion, that aura. You know that there's somebody a bit special has just walked through the door. The way he carries himself, I think he works a lot on the intelligence of how he's going to break down his opponent, so he'll be well equipped to go on and win this fight. But obviously Daniel, he's a big man. He packs a really big punch.
Yeah,
and if you get on the end of one,
I remember talking to some of Anthony Joshua's team who could not believe the intensity of Oleksandr Usyk. And after their first fight, I think it was, they walked out somewhere and they saw Usyk the next morning in the gym, I think running about 20 kilometres at full intensity.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it takes to be the undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
Former undisputed.
What was interesting was at the end of the discussion, Daniel Dubois straight out and into another area of the building. But Oleksandr Usyk decided to hang around and just hang loose for a moment or two.
Different animals, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're different animals.
Yeah.
Great fight.
So, Martin, we look forward to that. A great fight at Wembley in July. What we're going to see in this Champions League semi-final, over two legs, of course, Arsenal and PSG. This is doable for your boys, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if you can beat Real Madrid in the way that Arsenal did, then you go into this not really fearing anybody. But we know the PSG team is a much better side, much better balance. You know, Kvaratskhelia playing on that left-hand side. What a wonderful talent he is, Dembele. Arsenal beat them earlier in the season, but Kvaratskhelia wasn't there. Dembele didn't play. So, and I just like the way that PSG play incredible football. Hakim gets down that right-hand side. It's very direct. It's very difficult to pick up. So Arsenal will have to... There'll be weaknesses in this team. I think they leave themselves a little bit exposed, PSG, and Arsenal need to go after that. When you're in the home leg, Jim, I don't like the way this team, the way it's been configured, that you know, if you think about Liverpool won this league, didn't they? They ended up playing PSG, who were right, you know, they just about qualified.
Right.
And they've turned their season down. Okay, yeah. I understand that, but I always feel the second leg is the most important leg. I'd rather this home leg was being played second, because I think there's something in that. But nonetheless, I think the way that Arsenal learnt from the Bayern Munich game last year and have taken that into this season, and they went after Real Madrid, that 3-0 was really important. When you go into the big boy stadium, the Bernabeu, it was tough. PSG will be no different for the second leg, but they have to take a lead into that.
Who are favourites going into it?
I think PSG are favourites to win it. But I think what Arsenal have done by beating Real Madrid has made the whole of Europe sit up and take notice. You win 5-1 without a so-called recognised striker. I think that's been incredible for Arsenal, what they did and they achieved in those two legs.
I think, like Martin, I have a feeling for Arsenal here going into this, Simon. I have a hope for them, a feeling about them.
I mean, my only reluctance is that Frank Warren's winning everything at the moment, so I'd rather him not win this as well. But I look at this and think, I'm not entirely sure why PSG would be favourites over Arsenal, besides the fact they've knocked Liverpool out and Liverpool won the Premier League. I think Arsenal have the tools to deal with PSG. I think it's difficult, and so it should be. It's the semi-finals of the Champions League.
It's a kind of 50-50 fight, this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because PSG have been really impressive.
They've been very impressive.
They've won their own league by 20 points. They lost, by the way, over the weekend, Nice. Arsenal have had a nice rest coming into this to prepare. You know, it's difficult playing all these games when you've got this big game sitting in the back of your mind. So they've had
Saka's a key part of this game.
And Aston Villa have shown that you can put PSG on the ropes.
Well, I mean, that second leg, they only lost by the odd goal in the end. So, you know, you can see that they are vulnerable, but you've got to create that momentum in your stadium. And Villa had it in the second game, of course. Arsenal have to do it in the first game, Jim. So they've got to take the game to their opponent.
It's going to be one heck of an effort. But as I said to you at the start, man, it's doable. And I think the Arsenal fans believe.
Well, I feel like we've been on a journey, all of us, and I've had to defend the club a lot. And there's been times when you guys have been, shooting at me from distance, and I've always stayed solid, always showed belief, and I'm still feeling that Arsenal could do something special this season. But it will take a monumental performance to get past PSG.
As a club, Martin, just to finish on, I'm not. This is not a swipe, but the scale of the club and what they're trying to do, it's time, isn't it? Arsenal need to show it in Europe.
There's no divine right to be successful, but this is the second season in the Champions League after being 6 years away. They're learning fast, and when you look at the Declan Rices, no Partey in this one, of course, but Saka and Martinelli have been alongside the manager all the way through all the different stages. They've gone through everything. They've stayed in the team together. They were the two players that scored, ironically, against Real Madrid. They're going to have to turn up again.
Because you guys enjoyed enormous success, but these guys have the chance to lift something significant in Europe. That's the difference.
Well, I'd love it that they could do that. The 2006 team didn't quite get there. Back in the day, Wenger, that's the closest he got.
Yeah.
We faltered many times at the quarterfinal stages. They're in the semi now. This is like, you've got to go for it. This is about belief. And I see no reason why Arsenal can't do it, but they have to win this first game.
If anybody it's time for, with all due respect to Arsenal, it's probably time for PSG. I mean, they've dominated their league. They've had more money than you can shake a stick at over the years. They bought every single superstar player that you can buy, with a few notable exceptions.
Yeah.
Right. And now they've gone back to a better format, which is get rid of the Mbappe problem, get rid of the Neymar challenge, get a group of players
it's the work rate
that want to play for this football club.
Barcolia as well.
Doing everybody a favour.
Yeah.
Difficult game, great game. This is what semi-finals should look like.
Absolutely, Simon. Good luck to Arsenal. Of course, more on that, the build-up tomorrow. And then later on, it's all about the Europa League, of course. Down to 2 there in terms of English interest, Manchester United and Tottenham. Arsenal Invincible, Martin Keown, thank you. Goodness knows what awaits us through that door. Will Oleksandr Usyk be out there? Will Daniel Dubois be out there? We shall see. Martin, thanks.
Pleasure.
I shall see you tomorrow.
You will.
You work on this afternoon.
I do.
With your boxing friends.
Indeed.
And we'll see how that goes. We're coming up to 1 o'clock this Monday lunchtime.